We just heard a story from one of our colleagues here in the office about a woman who hasn't paid her rent in 14 months, and she's got 2 new cars in the driveway. That's not right. I'm sorry. That's just not right.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
We know that the sale market, the home sale market is very hot, but the rental market is very hot as well, and it's difficult for people to find homes. But more importantly right now is the eviction situation. The state of Nevada has stopped their moratorium. It stopped effective June 1. The CDC moratorium is still in effect. For the CDC moratorium to be impactful, the tenant must sign and notarize an affidavit saying that they've been financially impacted by the pandemic. Here's the thing, that protection runs out the end of this month, the end of June, and that's going to stop. We've heard inklings and rumors that it might be extended. As sympathetic as I am towards tenants, I have to tell you that landlords are taking a beating and have for the last 2 years, and it's brutal for them. It's really, really bad. I mean, people are going to lose homes at some point. For those of you out there who are looking for that continued protection, it's going to dry up at some point. And you need to be, even if it's not right away, even if they do grant an additional extension, if that does happen, and I really hope it doesn't at this point. I think it's time to get this thing resolved, and hopefully people aren't put out on the street, but I just think it's time to get it resolved. You're not going to be able to stay in a home for free forever. It's just not going to happen. It just can't happen.
I think the long-term effects of this could be really, really challenging for our real estate market. I mean, if people can't be evicted, landlords then are going to stop being landlords. They're going to want to start selling property, and they're going to sell those to owner-occupied people. And if there's less rentals, guess what happens to rent prices?
Clearly, you start diminishing the market. You talk about supply and demand. You take more houses out of this rental market, and that's going to be a real problem.
If they have not been able to make their payments for the last year, and they do come to some resolution, are you seeing that the back money is due?
Yes.
Okay.
The back money is due. None of these moratoriums forgave rent. They merely delayed it. In other states, they're giving landlord assistance. They're not giving tenant assistance. They're giving landlord assistance, which I understand. I think it makes some sense. And Nevada should consider this because ultimately, if you're counting on the tenants to do the work and they're not, the landlord's the one who pays the price. We just heard a story from one of our colleagues here in the office about a woman who hasn't paid her rent in 14 months, and she's got 2 new cars in the driveway. That's not right. I'm sorry. That's just not right. There's nothing to be said, positive to be said about that. That's just not right. And ultimately, those 2 new cars are going to cost her the ability to rent in the future.
Well, definitely.
She's going to get evicted, and she's not going to be able to rent someplace. And that's just not smart. It's just not very forward thinking. You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now. If you ever have a question about real estate or any of the other topics we cover, just call me off air or text me at 702-203-1165. You can also check us out on the web at lvrealestateradio.com or on our handle on social media at LV Real Estate Radio. We'll meet you on the radio next Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on the new 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDWN, the Talk of Las Vegas.